You know what's crazy? Most people think you need acres of land to grow your own fruit, but I'm about to show you 10 trees that'll thrive in a pot on your balcony and produce more fruit than you can eat. Stick around because number 7 literally pays for itself in one season, and that bonus tip at the end? Game changer. Hey there, garden friend. Welcome back if you've been here before, and if you're new, you've just stumbled on to the most budget-friendly gardening channel on YouTube. I'm so glad you're here because today we're talking about something that honestly changed my entire approach to growing food at home. We're diving into container fruit trees, and trust me, this isn't your typical just plant a lemon tree kind of video. Before we jump in, do me a quick favor. If you're serious about growing your own food without spending a fortune, hit that subscribe button right now. And here's the thing, turn on notifications because I drop videos every week that'll save you money and help you grow better. All right, let's get into it. Let me start with something that'll blow your mind. Number 10, the pomegranate revolution. Pomegranates in pots sound fancy, right? But here's the kicker. These trees are practically indestructible. I'm talking about dwarf varieties like Nana or State Fair, and they're absolute beasts in containers. What makes pomegranates special for pot growing is their natural root system. Unlike other fruit trees that want to spread out, pomegranates have a more compact root structure. They're perfectly happy in a 15 to 20 gallon container, which you can literally get for free from restaurants or bakeries if you ask nicely. Those big food-grade buckets? Perfect for pomegranates. The fruit you get from these container varieties is just as good as the full-size trees. We're talking deep red RLs, that sweet tart flavor, and honestly, one tree will give you anywhere from 15 to 30 fruits per season once it's established. At grocery store prices, you're looking at saving maybe $50 to $75 a year, and that's being conservative. Here's my favorite part though. Pomegranates are drought-tolerant once established. You can forget to water them for a few days, and they'll forgive you. That's huge for busy people, or if you're still learning this whole gardening thing. Number 9, the fig that changed everything. Figs are where things get interesting because most people don't realize figs actually prefer being slightly root-bound. When you put a fig in a container, you're giving it the exact conditions it loves, and the result is more fruit earlier in the season. Look for varieties like Petite Negra or Chicago Hardy. These aren't just smaller trees, they're specifically bred to produce heavy crops in confined spaces. I've seen single container figs produce over 100 fruits in one season. That's not an exaggeration. The beautiful thing about figs is they fruit on new growth, which means even if you're in a colder climate and the tree dies back in winter, it'll come back and still give you fruit the same year. You can't say that about most fruit trees. And here's a little trick that'll make you look like a genius. Stress your fig tree slightly by letting it dry out between waterings during fruiting season. This concentrates the sugars and makes the figs taste incredible. It's like nature's candy, but you made it happen. Fresh figs at the store, if you can even find good ones, run about $6 to $8 for a tiny container. Your potted fig tree will produce fruit that makes those store-bought ones taste like cardboard in comparison. Number 8, blueberries that actually work. Now we're getting into something special. Blueberries are probably the most successful fruit you can grow, but most people mess them up because they don't understand one simple thing. Blueberries are picky about soil pH. Here's the deal. Blueberries need acidic soil, somewhere between 4.5 and 5.5 pH. Regular potting mix won't cut it. But when you're growing in containers, you have complete control over this. Mix your potting soil with peat moss or use an azalea and rhododendron mix, and suddenly you're growing blueberries better than commercial farms. Varieties like Top Hat or Peach Sorbet are perfect for pots. They stay under 3 feet tall, they're gorgeous with fall color, and they produce heavily. A single mature blueberry bush in a container can give you 3 to 5 pounds of berries per season. Have you seen blueberry prices lately? You're looking at $5 to $7 per pound for organic ones. Do the math, and one plant pays for itself in the first year. But here's what makes blueberries brilliant for containers. You can move them. If they need more sun, roll them over. If a late frost is coming, bring them closer to the house. If you need to adjust the soil, you're working with a container, not trying to amend an entire garden bed. That flexibility is worth its weight in gold. Number 7, the lemon tree secret. Okay, everyone knows about Meyer lemons in pots, but let me tell you what actually makes them work and why they're at number 7 on this list, right in the middle because they're that important. Meyer lemons are naturally semi-dwarf, but more importantly, they're ever-bearing. That means you can have flowers, young fruit, and ripe fruit all on the same tree at the same time. It's like having a grocery store in a pot. One established Meyer lemon tree can produce 50 to 100 lemons per year. At $1.50 per lemon in the store, you see where I'm going with this. Here's the part nobody talks about, though. Lemons in pots are easier to keep alive than lemons in the ground because you control everything. Too cold? Bring it inside near a sunny window. Pests showing up? You can isolate and treat one container. Soil issues? You chose exactly what went in that pot. And let me tell you something that'll save you money right now. You don't need expensive citrus fertilizer. A good balanced organic fertilizer works just fine. I use Fish Emotion every 2 weeks during the growing season. It costs me maybe $15 a year, and my lemon tree is loaded. The smell alone when these trees bloom is worth having one. Your whole patio will smell like a citrus grove, and there's something deeply satisfying about making lemonade from lemons you grew yourself. Hey, quick pause here. If you're getting value from this, do me a favor and smash that like button. It seriously helps the channel reach more people who want to grow their own food. And drop a comment below telling me which of these trees you're most excited about. I read every single comment and I love hearing from you. All right, let's keep going because the next few are even better. Number 6, dwarf peaches that over-deliver. Peaches in pots sound impossible, but varieties like Bonanza or El Dorado are specifically bred for container life, and they're phenomenal. These trees stay around 5 to 6 feet tall, they're self-pollinating, and they produce full-sized peaches that taste better than anything you'll buy. Here's why peaches at number 6 are so important. Stone fruits have a reputation for being finicky, but container peaches flip that script. You can protect them from late frosts, you can control their environment, and you can actually net them easily if broods become a problem. Try doing that with a 15-foot tree in your yard. One dwarf peach tree will give you 20 to 40 full-sized peaches per season. Organic peaches at the store run about $3 to $4 per pound. You're looking at serious savings, plus the taste difference is unreal. Store-bought peaches are picked underripe to survive shipping. Your peaches ripen on the tree, and that makes all the difference. The juice running down your chin when you bite into a tree-ripened peach you grew yourself, that's what this is all about. The trick with peaches is thinning. When you see baby fruits forming, remove about half of them. This sounds counterintuitive, but it works because it makes the remaining peaches bigger, sweeter, and keeps your tree healthy. It's like one of those things that feels wrong, but works perfectly. Number 5. Cherries without the ladder. Dwarf cherries, specifically varieties like Romeo or Juliet, are absolute game changers for container growing. Sweet cherries can be tricky, but these pie cherry varieties are bulletproof, and honestly, I prefer them for eating fresh anyway. What makes cherries special in containers is that you avoid the biggest problem cherry growers face: birds. When your cherry tree is in a pot on your patio, you can throw bird netting over it in 5 minutes. Try that with a 20-foot tree in your yard. Can't be done. Container cherries will give you 10 to 15 pounds of fruit per season once mature. That's enough for fresh eating, baking pies, making jam, and still having some to freeze. Store-bought cherries are crazy expensive, often $8 to $10 per pound when they're in season. Your container tree produces fruit that's worth well over $100 every single year. And here's something beautiful about cherries in pots. They bloom early and gorgeously. Before your tree even produces fruit, it's giving you these stunning clouds of pink and white flowers. It's ornamental and productive, which means even non-gardeners in your life will appreciate it. Number 4. The apple that fits anywhere. Columnar apples are like something out of a science fiction movie. These trees grow straight up, barely any side branches, and they're perfect for containers because they max out at about 8 to 10 feet tall, but only 2 feet wide. Varieties like North Pole or Golden Sentinel are the ones you want. Here's what's wild about columnar apples. They produce full-sized apples on a tree that takes up the same space as a small shrub. You can fit 3 or 4 of these on a small balcony and have fresh apples from late summer through fall. Each tree produces about 15 to 25 apples per season, and we're talking crisp, juicy, real apples, not some weird miniature variety. The savings here add up differently because apples store well. You pick your apples in September and October, store them in a cool spot, and you're eating fresh apples through December or even January. When you factor in organic apple prices at $3 to $4 per pound, your Columnar apple tree is saving you real money over months, not just weeks. Plus, and this is important, apples in containers are easier to keep pest-free. You can inspect every inch of a small tree quickly. You catch problems early. Compare that to a full-sized apple tree where you can't even see the top branches. Number 3. Strawberries, reimagined. Now, technically strawberries aren't trees, but stay with me because this might be the most productive container fruit situation you can create. Ever-bearing strawberries in a container garden are absolute productivity machines, and they deserve this spot. Here's why strawberries at number 3 are crucial. They produce fruit fast, within months of planting, and they keep producing from late spring through fall. One properly maintained container with 6 to 8 strawberry plants will give you fresh berries almost daily during peak season. We're talking pounds and pounds of fruit from something that takes up less space than a standard pot. Store-bought strawberries are crazy expensive, often $5 to $7 per pound when they're in season. Your container strawberries are the opposite. They're bred for taste, picked at perfect ripeness, and eaten within minutes. The flavor difference is so dramatic that once you've had homegrown strawberries, store-bought ones become almost insulting. The beauty of strawberries in containers is succession. As old plants age out, you replace them with runners from your best producers. It's a self-sustaining system that costs you almost nothing after the initial setup. And you can stack containers vertically, use hanging baskets, or create a strawberry tower. The space efficiency is unmatched. Number 2, avocados that actually fruit. This is where people think I'm crazy, but hear me out. Dwarf avocado varieties like Wurtz or Little Cato will absolutely fruit in containers, and when they do, you're getting avocados that cost $5 to $8 each at the store. One tree can produce 20 to 30 avocados per year once mature. Yes, avocados take patience. You're looking at 3 to 4 years before significant fruiting. But here's the thing. You're planting that tree anyway, or you're buying avocados forever, which sounds better. The secret with avocados in containers is drainage and patience. Use a well-draining mix, don't overwater, and give them time. These trees are self-pollinating in the dwarf varieties, which means you don't need 2 trees. You need one good tree, the right conditions, and patience. What makes avocados number 2 on this list is the payoff. When your tree starts producing, you're getting organic avocados, perfectly ripe, at zero cost, for decades. The tree in a pot can live and produce for 20+ years. Do the math on that. Even at conservative estimates, you're looking at thousands of dollars worth of avocados over the life of one tree. And because they're in a container, you can bring them inside during cold snaps if you're in a marginal climate. That flexibility means people in zones that technically can't grow avocados are successfully growing them anyway. Number 1, the banana trick. This is going to surprise you, but dwarf banana plants are the ultimate container fruit, and here's why. Varieties like Dwarf Cavendish or Super Dwarf will produce full-size bananas in a pot, and they do it faster than almost any other fruit on this list. Bananas aren't technically trees, they're herbaceous perennials, but that doesn't matter because they produce fruit like crazy. A single banana plant in a container can give you 50 to 100 bananas in one harvest cycle, and they cycle relatively quickly. You're looking at fruit within 18 months to 2 years, and then it keeps coming. Here's what makes bananas number 1. The value is insane. Organic bananas are around 80 cents to $1 per pound, and a single bunch from your plant might be 20 to 40 pounds. But more than the money, it's the experience. Cutting a bunch of bananas you grew yourself is genuinely one of the coolest things you'll do as a gardener. Bananas love containers because you can give them exactly what they need: rich soil, consistent water, and warmth. They're tropical plants, so in colder climates, you bring them inside during winter where they go semi-dormant,
then back outside when it warms up. The container makes this possible. And here's the bonus part about bananas. After the main stem fruits, it dies back, but it sends up new shoots called pups. You can pot these up and suddenly you have more banana plants. Give them to friends, keep them for yourself, or yes, even sell them. Banana plants are in demand.
All right, I promised you a bonus, and this one's huge. The secret that makes all of these container fruit trees work better is something almost nobody talks about: mulch. Put 2 to 3 inches of wood chips or straw on top of the soil in your containers. This does 3 things that'll change your results. First, it regulates soil temperature, keeping roots cooler in summer and warmer in winter. Second, it retains moisture, which means you water less and your trees stress less. Third, it slowly breaks down and feeds your trees organic matter. I started doing this 3 years ago, and my container trees exploded in productivity. It's such a simple thing, costs almost nothing, and the difference is dramatic. Go to a tree service company and ask for wood chips. Most will give them to you free because they're trying to get rid of them anyway. So there you have it. 10 fruit trees that'll thrive in containers, save you serious money, and give you fresh fruit that's better than anything you'll buy. Whether you've got a tiny balcony or a big patio, you can absolutely grow your own fruit without breaking the bank. If this video helped you, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment telling me which tree you're starting with. I'm genuinely curious. Thanks for hanging out with me today, garden friend. Now get out there and grow something amazing. I'll see you in the next one.